things are going to play out. Um, there's conflicting reports as to whether or not the coup in Benin actually stuck. We've been looking at it for the past 6 hours, give or take. Regional Governor Musa has reported in. Uh, Still not determined as to whether or not the coup was put down or if the coup was successful. I know that Abuja has reacted. ECOWAS is likely to react. Um, how they react remains to be seen. Watching how certain things will play out on this side of the ocean, you have a lot of manufacturing trades that have been eliminated. Parties that are used to particular amenities are not getting them. They can't get to particular hospitals because they don't have particular coverage. Other things are occurring that could soften the blow, if you would. The oil, quote unquote, price has been down, and as a consequence, has kept transportation costs down. That will help ease inflation for some. Not to mention the fact that Beijing is still exporting deflation all across the planet. That helps keep costs down for folks when they're going to buy particular things that's produced there. Where things are going to end up remains to be seen. I do know that particular parties uh, who run central banks are quite nervous. Certain folks can't move their debt paper. They're having difficulty. Several uh, are putting out a lot of paper, and they can't adjust rates um, for their quote unquote interest rates. So if they don't raise them, it leads to one set of problems. If they do raise them, it leads to a different set of problems. And when you don't have entities buying your debt and you're having to raise funds to operate because you operate in a non-substance based quote unquote economy, things get very precarious very fast when you've been printing so much paper for so long, not backed by anything. We have no role in that as we are a substance based commerce and trade jurisdiction within the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitutional-Monarchy. We are innocent bystanders. Uh, However, watching the quote unquote gold price basically spike towards quote unquote 64 an ounce, well, it makes things difficult for us differently. The sweet spot for us would be 30 in silver or less. Where it is right now is prohibitive in many different ways. We'll make do because we always do. Still, the buying power of our silver is elevated. Availability of things going forward might be in question. And there's too many factors that PAR is not taking into account. 80% of the baby boomers have already retired. They pulled their equity out of riskier investments, so liquidity is dried up as a consequence. Deglobalization is actually accelerated, which is also contributing to the issues at hand. And folks can't map their way out of particular things. They have options. They can go into austerity plans, but they won't. They'll give quote unquote tax cuts to the rich, uh, but they're not going to engage in austerity. They're not going to do it. So when I wrote what became our Constitution and the Imperial Council decided to ratify it, I took a particular measure. We don't have to go back every Earth year to revise the taxes within the Amexem-Moor-Empire. We have a very generous tax deduction. 40% of all your expenditures, including your payroll, as some would call it, is tax deductible. Keep it simple, keep it tight. A 20% flat tax on the adjusted gross, unless your business is only operating where it's receiving royalties and no other means of funds coming in, no additional gross receipts. Well, then it's not going to be a 20% flat tax. It's going to be a 10% tax on the royalties collected. We keep it simple, we keep it neat, we keep it tidy. Nationals don't have a quote-unquote, no Amexem-Moor-Empire national has a quote-unquote income tax or graduated income tax here. I don't care if you earn 2 ounces of silver a month, 2,000 or 20,000 ounces of silver a month. You're only required to put 2 ounces of silver into the Imperial Treasury. So between the business taxes and our monthly contribution to 2 ounces of silver each, that's how we fund our fiscal budget laws. Nothing complicated, and since we're not allowed to borrow because credit is unconstitutional for us, banks are unconstitutional for us, we don't have the problems that they have in the foreign jurisdiction. Nowhere on this planet do we have that.